bias and my bias is obvious. I look up to you and I respect you, and I know you only work in Santa Rosa. But how do you can you compare the training, the budget to your department, to other budgets and other departments? The numbers are pretty out of hand. I think is it 1 million? There's 1 million police officers in the United States. Yeah, there's 18,000 police departments in our country.
And Joey, most of those police departments are probably less than 20 officers.
Okay.
Most, like 90% of them. I don't know the exact numbers, but I feel comfortable saying like 90%. Santa Rosa would be in the top 5 or 10% for size.
Wow.
Well, think about it. Think about all your big cities, right?
Yeah.
You have your 2 or 3 really big cities in almost every state, right? And so that's
like Los Angeles. That
number to the 18,000 departments. It's a pretty small number. Santa Rosa is bigger than the capitals of several states.
Sure.
If you look at population, there are several states in the United States that the capital of those cities, the largest city, is less than 200,000.
Okay.
So when you really look at the numbers, we're actually a pretty good sized police department with 180 or so sworn. But most of those departments are tiny. And how do you keep that training consistent? How do you budget to train when you only have 10 officers? How do you even get those guys to training? Right?
Yeah.
You're doing it on overtime more than likely because you don't have an excess of people. So it's always a balance. And when you have a department our size, making training available during a regular shift is a little bit easier than it would be for a very small department. And those small departments are most of America.
Okay. I didn't know that, because that, with regards to that, the de-escalate, let's get back to the mental health training for a sec. Could you extrapolate what you think you'd need on that front? Because it's not just you. All the homework I did on this is that every single peace officer I've talked to, union members, politicians, they all think we need more. What number would that look like, just specifically to your department? I know you can't have it, but if you could say, I need this much money. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, I mean, to be perfectly upfront, I never controlled our training budget. That just was never an assignment that I had.
Okay.
If you ask me about vehicles, I can tell you all about vehicle budget, but we're not going to talk about that. It's a lot. It's a lot because you're talking about, I mean, ultimately to do a statewide, a training course that was adopted by the Commission on Police Officer Standards and Training, California Post. It's a lot of money to create that course and then to send every officer in the entire state of California to like a 40 or even maybe an 80-hour course to get them really indoctrinated in how to deal with people who are in mental health crisis. Most people that professionally deal with people in mental health crisis, those people generally have like a master's degree in that field.
In psychology, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you most of my police officers do not have a master's degree in psychology. Some of them probably do, but the vast majority of police officers in California are not as highly trained as a mental health professional. Yet